What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, OG is back, man. You guys already know what time it is with this guy right here. I don't talk about it, I be about it. Well, anyways, yes, I'm gonna touch on Dubs, his last video. He was all over the place, I tell you that right now. And before I do that, I gotta give a quick shout out to Dubs. Dubs, let's just say, put it this way, Dubs' associate, Mr. Fonzie. You already know my boy. He signed up to my program, and I'm gonna get him ripped and fit, baby. You know, he sent me some flicks from when he was back in the joint, and it reminded me of just the way I was. I had that prison built, you know. But anyways, people. So that's what I am gonna touch on. If you guys don't want to hear it, then you guys don't need to watch. Just swipe away or whatever they call it right here. I'm not even sure what they call it. You know what I mean? And you got to keep in mind, this OG Does Ramble. This is a fitness channel. So I normally start off with fitness and nutrition. But before I go and do that, got to give a shout out to all of my channel members. Really appreciate you guys, every last one of you guys. A shout out to all my subscribers, my followers. And for those individuals that are questioning my exercise routines, okay, I'm not going to give you a whole workout, people. Come on now, really? Go watch another channel. This ain't happening. This is what I do for a living. I'm a full-time online fitness coach. Okay, so if you want to get started and you want me to build you a customized workout plan that will be tailored to your lifestyle, and every workout will come with videos, the amount of repetitions, the amount of sets you're supposed to do, and the break period in between, then you need to get at me. Because I can guarantee right now, you're probably one of them individuals that has been at the gym for a number of years. It still looks the same. Summer comes around, you still can't come out that shirt. You're still walking around like a keg of beer with legs. You know, I'm just keeping it real and 100%. You know what I mean? The proof is in the pudding, people. I mean, come on now. I'm 54 years old. I'm in really great shape. You know what I mean? I will toot my own horn. Why? Because I have every right to do that. But anyways, people, if you want to get started on that fitness journey, shoot me a DM on my Instagram, high_power_fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. Well, anyways, an individual asked me today on one of my questions, he actually asked if I keep track of my calorie intake. And at the end of the day, G, it all depends what you're shooting for and what you're eating, okay? As far as myself, I don't keep track of my calories. My calories, they fluctuate. And the reason why I don't keep an eye on my calories is because my calories are coming from high quality foods. I'm not consuming processed foods. I'm not eating at, out fast food. If I do eat at a fast food place, I take out the bad and just consume the good. That's what I do. It's a way of eating. It's a lifestyle. So, but if you're one of them individuals that doesn't really matter where he's getting his calories from, absolutely, you do need to watch where your calories are coming from. And just some food for thought. Make sure most of your calories are going to come from your fat and your protein. Keep in mind, fat is more than double the amount of calories per gram. You got 9 calories per gram of fat. So when you think of fat, it's not going to be a lot of fat. Okay, a lot of people, they get like, oh, I'm going to gain weight. Majority of your weight gain is behind carbohydrates. A lot of people don't do that, and that's what they suffer with. They got them big old panzas, the big old guts. Can't even see their feet no more. You know what I mean? Exactly like them individuals that be on here wolfing. They probably look like a keg of beer with legs. But anyways, people, yeah. So this is a fitness channel. This OG Does Ramble on. And yes, I'm going to talk about Mr. Dubs on what he spoke on about his last video. And yes, he was all over the place. But so if you want to get started with your fitness program, you want to get your nutrition dialed in, you want to get a structured workout plan, everything I tailor to your lifestyle. I will accommodate you until we perfect it. And then once you perfect it, you take off on your own, and I just guide you your tour guide. You know what I mean? Make sure that you stay in line. And if you ever start to bounce around, that's when I will pump your brakes for you, because I know how to get you the results that you've been chasing after time. And it doesn't require countless hours at the gym. It doesn't require lifting a lot of weight. It's all about consistency with the dialed in nutrition. And if you want gains, and I'm going to explain a little bit about this as well. Gains, there's different types of gains, okay? Usually when people speak on gains, it's muscle growth. You know what I mean? So over time, you gradually, add more weight and improve your performance in the gym, and those are your gains, okay? But you could actually get gains from doing lightweight, in itself. And that's what I do. But they're going to be minimum, okay? Now, there's a way to do it by doing lightweight, and what I call is time under tension. It's strength training. You're not in a hurry to control the weight when it goes down. So when you show resistance against gravity, that's your strength training, and that will also help you get results. You're not going to come out like a professional bodybuilder, you know what I mean? No, but you could acquire a nice look, you know what I mean? That bedroom physique. And that's what I'm content with now, I'm almost at my goal weight that I want to stay at, and that's 180 pounds. And that's where I'm going to stay at. I'm not going to take it any further than that. But yeah, people, if you want to get started with that, and like I said, I appreciate all the interactions, especially with the people that were asking me about, nutrition and fitness and stuff like that. I could give you what I can, but if you want to take it further, you're going to have to sign on with my team, because my knowledge that I share with people has value to it, people. I put years and years into this nutrition and conditioning. That way I could share it with others. I will share to a certain extent, but you got to keep in mind, at the end of the day, I got to put food on my table. You know what I mean? And this is, like I said, this is what I do full time. So anyways, shoot me a DM or email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com if you want to get started on that fitness journey and becoming that best version of yourself, that 10.5. You can't talk about it, you got to be about it, baby. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. Well, anyways, shout out once again to my boy Fonzie, also known as Mr. Dub's acquaintance. I'm just going to keep it in that perspective. I won't elaborate no more on that. But Dubs, Mr. Dubs, he spoke on a topic today, and he was all over the place. So it's something I can relate to, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said, oh shit, I've never seen Dubs like this. He's all over the place. That's common for me, with this guy right here, man. I'd be bouncing all over the place when it comes to this internet. I'd be rambling on. You know what I mean? I'm the rambler. But anyways, people, that terminology, man, that a lot of these people be using here on social media, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. I couldn't have put it into a better perspective than Mr. Dubs did. I couldn't have said it better myself. He hit the nail on the head. You know what I mean? You go flirting with them type of how should I say, behind the walls, the way they live back there, eventually it's going to catch up to you. And I'm going to give you an example, man, because a lot of people, I don't know what it is with people out here on social media. They like to speak freely on stuff that they really haven't a clue on how things work. You know what I mean? And the way they be speaking doesn't apply to out here in this real world. It takes more of a man to survive out here in this real world. I could tell you that right now. Anyone could go behind them walls and survive. As long as you conduct yourself as a professional and you don't walk around as dead weight, you'll be okay. You know what I mean? But you will be required in one point or time or another to participate. So for those of you that are opening up them doors out here and playing the role like you're this Mexica warrior, and you start speaking on certain things, certain situations and incidents that had happened in the past, it's going to bring light to law enforcement. And you may not even have been around where an incident happened, but this case that everybody thought was just a dead case, It was in their code files. So that you're going to shed light on that. And if they place you right there, hey, they found their suspect, baby. So keep in mind, man, what you guys do out here. Because once you throw a rock in a glass house, it's a wrap. You're going to break something. And I guarantee a good over 95% of you cats out here trying to be this Aztec warrior on here, or just anybody in general, because I can't just put it on our gente, because I really don't know who's behind these no face cases right there. The ones that are playing them roles right there, you're flirting with some severe consequences, people. You know, a lot of that terminology that you guys use out here shouldn't be used out here. There's people that will be really offended by an individual misusing certain terms. And like I've said in my past videos, you better watch the way you bump your gums, because you may find yourself in a room or around some real ones, and you use something that shouldn't be used, guaranteed that real one will let you know. As far as myself, I did time in a different era than Dubs. You know what I mean? I wasn't on a level 4, like I said. I was a level 3. I passed through a level 4. You know, I was there when fucking Lancaster was rocking and rolling, Calapatria was rocking and rolling, Soledad. You know what I mean? I was living in Soledad, watching them build new Soledad. You know what I mean? I used to be able to watch them out my window, man. I used to enjoy be sitting up there on the third tira, 324. Outside my window was a palm tree with a bird that was always there, guaranteed. Before chow time, the foghorn would go on. I'd close my eyes and put myself like if I was on the Carnival cruise, baby. You know, because that's the way you got. Sometimes you got to do time. You know what I mean? So I really I'm not glamorizing nothing about, you know, doing time in prison, but that's the way I was able to escape prison. You know what I mean? Every cuenta time, getting ready for chow, man. I remember for a long time just closing my eyes and acting like I was on the Love Boat. For those of you that know, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyways, people, you guys got to start being very cautious on what you use out here. People, I don't know if you've noticed, but they've been snatching up a lot of people, and these supposed real motherfucking gangsters out here. You guys ain't gangster, man, because I see people question other ethnicities, how their standing is. Those are fighting words. Even coming from just being a gangster in the hood. You know what I mean? Straight up. That's just that should have been handled with some type of physical force. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit, man. You know what I mean? As far as myself, I don't put myself in them predicaments anymore. Why? I'm a family man. I have my 5 boys. You know, I take care of my wife. You know, today was one of those days, and the reason why I'm putting this video out a little bit late too is because, like I said, you know, I'm doing what it takes to be a real man out here and provide for my family. I had to take my wife to the hospital right there in my barrio, yes, in my hood. For those of you that know, you know exactly where we go, even though a lot of the homies don't like going there because that thing's got, man, that thing got a bad jacket right there. You know, a lot of times you walk in there and don't walk out. You know, they've gotten better though, I'll tell you that. But anyways, yeah. So I had to take my wife over there. You know what I mean? Because she's going through some stuff right now, and that's what it takes, man, to be out here in this real world. You know what I mean? Responsibilities. You know, so for those of you that are on here on the social media, and it's like day in, day out, the same people. You know what I mean? Every now and then I get some new cats on here that want to sell wolf tickets and shit. As a matter of fact, there was this one idiot. He's attacked me, Gunner, Dubs, a lot of the homies. I happened to get a notification from the mob spot, and I was just curious, you know what I mean? Because I had seen this one, I guess, I don't know what you would call it, the profile picture. And this fucking poo butt, he goes by the, man, what was his name now? But supposedly he was the first Greek Southsider. That fool's so fucking full of shit. He's talking out this fucking side of his neck. That's the dude that tries a wolf, and he lives in his car. He's always talking shit about people, how fucking much of a warrior he is. But yet he's over there complimenting two known individuals that well, at least I know one had to debrief. I don't know if the first one, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to say that. But there are two known individuals that are more likely would be a hot commodity in the hat. I'm just going to keep it as that. You know what I mean? Those are individuals that actually could share life experiences. I mean, if you really want to know, they know. You know what I mean? There's no doubt in my mind what they speak, you know, is straight truth, you know. But anyways, this individual, man, I forget his name. Man, I wish I would have remembered his name. But he's a dude that's always wearing a beanie with a cigarette in his mouth and never shaves. He has the unemployment look. He looks toe up from the flow up, wrecked up from the neck up. Well, I don't know about the toe up from the flow up because I've never seen his old grill, but he looks like an old sailor or something, a shout-out sailor. Yeah, I seen him right there, and he's all showing them love. But yet he wants to talk bad about me because I support Dubs and Gunner. You know what I mean? It's crazy the way the social media works, man. Like I said, I guess there's double standards. You know what I'm saying? You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't here on social media. It's looking crazy. It's a crazy world right here. But just don't ever fall into that web, man. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, one of my followers reached out to me, and this is the type of person I am, man. He shot me his number, and I got on the horn with him. We chopped it up, and he asked me to touch on a situation that happened to one of his homies, his camaradas that went to, well, not camarada, but a homie that went up north and got jumped, you know what I mean? But it's known to happen, especially now the way people are creating something that really never existed amongst us down here with the homies up north, you know what I mean? But once it gets into certain ears in the younger generation, they just run with it, you know what I mean? Because I could guarantee you right now, ain't none of that going on behind the walls. You know what I mean? That end of hostility. I mean, you don't want to be the one that stirs shit up. You don't want to be the one that gets the homie slammed down again. Trust and believe. You don't want to be on the tip of that sword. No, you don't. But anyways, people, I know I went rambling on, but I wanted to touch on Dubs just a little bit and speak on that. Dubs hit that shit, that nail on the head, man. I couldn't have put it into better words than he did, man. I tip my hat to him. I've never seen him go, you know, off course, bouncing around everywhere, but hey, I can relate to that. I do it all the time. So, with that being said, people, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, put your notification bell on all, share this channel. I'm up past 6,000 subscribers. We're getting closer, baby. 10,000. YouTube Yarda goes live, baby. And you know me, I don't discriminate, man. Non-biased. I will interact with every last one of you guys. And for the funny bunnies, just conduct yourself as a professional. Don't try to play silly games because you will win stupid prizes. And trust and believe, I already have my eye on a few moderators and they will kick you off the yarda. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, with that being said, people, keep on getting up and getting yours. Don't talk about it. Be about it. It's not a puzzle. It's not hard to figure out. Now, it's time for me to bounce, baby. Time to go eat. Get up and get yours. Let's do this.